For coming to my channel. I am Jackie Horton, your wellness and health specialist. I am here to promote wellness and good health.
The real you is breathing down your neck, begging you to manifest. It's got to be a lifestyle change. When you shift your paradigm, when you shift your thinking, only then what you see in your head, you will hold in your hand.
Hi, and welcome to my channel. I am Jackie Horton, your wellness and health specialist. I can reverse the words, okay? So thank you for coming today. It is Friday, Village Circle Friday. And I am here just as Jackie Horton, no therapy, no coaching, just really inviting everyone to the village to just talk, to listen and see, what's going on in your world. There's a lot going on in our worlds, right? And at this time, it's very neutral and it's very respectful. And we just want to hear each other out. Like, what's your concern? What's getting under your skin? What keeps you up at night? What matters to you? And, those things are the things that gets us up in the morning, that wakes us up in the afternoon and gets us going and keeps us motivated. But there are things that keeps us concerned as well. So let's kind of talk about the things that are concerning. So I was just kind of looking over this week's news and, learning that so far there's been about 53 shootings at schools. Some were at college campuses, but the majority, I think it was around 37, were in our school systems, public, private, combination of both. And that's so sad. When I was in school, it was rare if I even heard of any shootings, And now, unfortunately, we have to anticipate that. At my daughter's school, they did a walkthrough of an active shooter structure and process. And I think it caught my daughter off because she texted me and was just like, what is going on here? Why are we, I think you need to come to the school. I'm a little concerned. And then she finally texted me back maybe like a few seconds later and just said, oh, it's a drill. But the fact of hearing her being alarmed about that, also made me sad because now we've sort of become normalized in thinking that, part of fire drills is now active shooting drills. And it's concerning. So that's one piece of this concerning. Went recently to my daughter's parent-teacher night, and I was impressed, but I was mostly blown away. Most of her teachers are, recent graduates, under 5 years, possibly some high achieving students when they were in school, and they all sort of focus on learning the importance of teaching the students how to be ready for college. So every open discussion started off with, we're thinking about your student being in college. So this is kind of like pre-college structure to get them prepared. And then they pulled out their syllabus. And I was sort of blown away, you all. I'm like, oh my Lord. Every student is individual and every student learns differently and every student has a different support system outside of school with their parents. And I'm on it. Her father is on it. But I do have real concern about students who, one, are already struggling, two, not receiving the support with the parents. And when I mean support with the parents, I mean you have to really go in and check your children's schoolwork and make sure they understand it because it really is advanced. The teachers can't do it all, and they're not because there's too many things that they have to be responsible for, and I will say, if nothing else about this new education regimen, parents better wake up as early as pre-K, kindergarten, because the structure of the school now is advanced. When core curriculum came out, I was completely lost with the structure of how they taught, and I understand later the overall process. I can honestly say teachers understood it, and once they kind of got into it, they were able to help parents understand it, and I totally respect them a lot, because you got to be able to think, be creative, be in, work on your assessment skills, work on how you want to deliver the information with 30 or more students. So thumbs up to the teachers, and I don't care what school setting you're in, even if there's one that's, have concerning issues. The school cannot be successful if the community is not thriving. You may have one, what's called Mr. Clark in each school, and it's trying, but it really requires the community effort of the parents as well as the educators to team together, because it is definitely no joke out here. And so I was reading another article about the shortages with the students, and just the piled up of kids in schools, in classes, and how they're licensing teachers from other states to do virtual. I mean, just really getting kids almost, used to interacting with a computer or an iPad or some kind of electronic system. I think 2 weeks ago, maybe even more, they had a Department of Education conference, and, like rally in DC, and they was talking about the AI model that they're trying to consider putting in the schools to replace human beings. And I think we should be alarmed. I really think we should be alarmed. Human connection and human touch and human experiences really matters. It does humanize us. And I'm concerned. I am literally concerned. Also, with the education system, I was reading about the biggest lawsuit that was won against the education system of a young little boy, 13-year-old in California, who was punched in the face, fell back on some concrete bricks, hit his head, and 9 days later died. So the family sued the education system close to $27 million and won. And I am not opposed to, a family proceeding with legal help regarding an accident that led to the death of the child. But I am saddened that, the administrators do have a lot to deal with, and so does the teachers. And I'm not really sure if I can say there's enough. When I look at the percentages of social workers in schools or school counselors in the schools, and how many students they have to, address, where most of the times when I was a school social worker, we were locked in where kids had the 504 plan or the IEPs, and, and there are a lot of kids who get missed because we are there contracted to take care of those specific kids who have identified needs on paper, which is a legal document. So I'm concerned, and I really want to rally parents to, your battle is not with the school teachers and administrators. The battle is making sure that your child gets his or her learning, because it is advanced, and it is, it is tough. And one person in a room with 30, 40 kids can't do it. So I think the other thing that I was going to talk about was the last thing with the safety, the last thing with the school piece is, making sure that, we just keep in mind that a lot of times teachers spend money out of their pockets for their classroom needs, and some school districts don't even have parents who will send money or give money. And I'm really hoping that we sort of change that, and making sure that not only our teachers are paid, and people in direct people-oriented fields are paid very well, but that we also receive, the other funding to sort of help provide more quality services to any person that comes to us. So that's enough about that. The other thing is I have been watching on social media a little bit here and there. I was really excited about Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, with a University of Colorado and their last win against Colorado State University. And it's just been really good and exciting to sort of see us, to see nationally that people are coming together and, looking at college sports and tracking it. I hope the players and I hope the coaches and I hope the universities feel the support. I hope we are all starting to go back into that, and not just with the winning teams, but with every team, because people need to be incentivized to do well, and let's just root everybody on. The one thing I will say about Coach Deion and Prime, whatever you want to call him, there's not too many interviews that I see where he does not mention HBCU. And so he's doing his call of duty, and he's celebrating HBCUs, and he's also celebrating the young men and who play sports. He's even talking about how he's going to interact with the other athletic sports program at his at the school that he's a coach for the football team. So I'm looking forward to that. I may even start watching girls basketball, no offense girls, and all that other stuff, just to kind of, keep track and be supportive. So good for him. The other thing, on the flip side of that, I am just kind of surprised that people are like going after Steve Harvey and Marjorie Harvey. I'm just going to assume that it's mostly Black social media people. And I don't know what's going on. I mean, I don't know why it's so hostile, and I don't know why it's almost like it's intentional, and it's actually hurtful because whether I'm a Steve Harvey fan or not, I do find him to want to be a positive influence over our influence in our culture, and I know he may have offended some people, and he also may have, I don't know, I guess sent out some kind of messaging that that does not hold people accountable. And I think a lot of us do that anyway. So I guess I'm just surprised. I mean, I'm a little surprised at how mean it's been. And I mean, I've watched a few clippings, and I just kind of had to pull away because it was just like, oh boy, geez, this is rough. So Steve and Marjorie, hang in there, be prayerful, and and I pray that everything is all well with you both. And then my last thing, I've been watching Mr. President Biden, and oh Lord, I mean, with the migrant crisis, with what happened with his son Hunter Biden, with what's going on with the fight regarding expanding and extending Medicaid in some states. With Trump situation, like he finds his way to sort of resurface and say, hey, everybody, I'm still around. It's a lot to deal with. And I think this week was the Congressional Black Caucus week. It came up on me. I thought it was in late September into October. And I did miss getting tickets and so forth. So I'm going to definitely try to be a part of just getting some tickets in the future. I do like to support things that I find have mattered. I've been to it a few times. Once I went to it with when President Clinton, as I dated myself, and Vice President Gore were in office. So I did enjoy it, and I think I would definitely have enjoyed it if I had gone to see President Biden and Vice President Harris. So with that being said, let me know what you're thinking, if you're thinking anything about any of these subjects. And if not, I hope you have a great weekend. And I will talk to you on Monday for Mental Health Monday. Take care and be blessed.